There have been internal rumblings regarding a possible WWE return for Randy Orton as we get closer to WrestleMania. We've got details on that. Plus, a WWE writer who was closely associated with the creation and initial creative of the Firefly Funhouse has now left the company. Cody Rhodes versus Ludwig Kaiser has been announced for next week's edition of SmackDown. Kofi Kingston gives an update after undergoing surgery after suffering an injury on SmackDown a few weeks ago. Has the WrestleMania 39 Night 1 main event been revealed accidentally on social media? Sami Zayn reacts to reuniting with Kevin Owens on SmackDown this week. Plus, Pete Dunne is teased to be returning. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of World Wrestling Entertainment. Let's start off talking about the Apex Predator himself. That's right, the Viper Randy Orton. Could he be set to return to WWE in the near future? Well, former 14-time World Heavyweight Champion Randy Orton has been absent from WWE television since May 2022, taking time off due to a back injury. Now, Orton's last match took place on May 20 last year, where he and Matt Riddle dropped the Raw Tag Team Championships to the Usos in a winner-takes-all championship unification match on SmackDown. The post-match angle was originally designed to set up a match between Orton and Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at SummerSlam that year, but of course that match didn't end up happening due to Orton's injury. Orton underwent lower back fusion surgery in November, with there being a lot of concern over the future by those within the company for the future Hall of Famer. Now, speculation of Orton's return has begun to fester due to an image of him circulating on social media a few months ago, showing him looking in great shape ahead of a potential comeback, as well as a famous wrestling bootmaker revealing on Facebook that Orton had reached out to him to make boots for him ahead of a return to WWE. Now, in an update from PW Insider Elite, there has been some rumblings about Randy Orton internally over the past week. While there had been no discussions regarding him in recent months, discussion regarding him has picked up over the past 7 days. Now, when it comes to Riddle, there was reportedly no update on his status with the company after he was written off the television show back in December after failing a drugs test. He subsequently went to rehab, served his pittance there, if you will, got the help he needed, and now he's ready to return, but there hasn't been any discussion about him since he's been able and clear and free to return. There has been some discussion he could possibly make his return to WWE on the Raw after WrestleMania in April. But when it comes to Randy Orton, again, could it be a situation where Randy Orton either returns at WrestleMania or returns after WrestleMania alongside his former RK Bro tag team partner? Nevertheless, there has been discussion regarding the Viper returning to WWE television over the past 7 days. Do you expect to see Orton at WrestleMania? Will he be on the Raw after WrestleMania? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, a name that a lot of people are talking about at the moment is Bray Wyatt. We didn't see Wyatt on SmackDown. There was a reference to him that some may have missed. We covered it in yesterday's WWE News video. But this is quite interesting. But a lot of people are putting two and two together when it comes to this, and it's not really truly related to Wyatt's current status. Now, a long-time WWE writer has recently departed WWE, according to Sean Rossap of Fightful Select. When Sean Rossap was asking around about rumored looming WWE cuts, Fightful was told that hasn't been something that's been discussed broadly within the company, but we're told of a fairly recent departure. Fightful Select has confirmed that Nick Manfredini has left the company earlier this year. Manfredini had been with WWE for well over a decade, having joined the fold in the spring of 2010. Again, that's almost 13 years he's been with the company. Manfredini was heavily influential in the creation and creative of the Firefly Funhouse segments. Now, Fightful hasn't been able to learn of if Manfredini left on his own volition or was let go by the company. Now, Manfredini was known as a guy within WWE who would often downplay credit on himself, but was often put over by Bray Wyatt himself to people backstage. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, is this related to Bray Wyatt? Bray Wyatt's not been on television and he's been off of TV due to the physical issue or illness that he's currently suffering, and his WrestleMania status is up in the air. There's been rumors that Bray Wyatt walked out of WWE over creative. What's going on? What's going on? Now, for the sake of clarity, and unlike a lot of people who are really going with this in terms of headlines, this was well before Bray Wyatt was indeed sidelined with an illness. So those worrying and those thinking this is a sign of what's going on with Bray Wyatt, This was actually a few weeks ago, or maybe even longer than that, so it's got really nothing to do with Bray Wyatt's current status within the company. Now, they haven't heard of what led to the departure or what Manfredini's next steps are within the writing space, I guess. Before WWE, Manfredini actually worked on the Howard Stern show, and it just goes to show that WWE is willing to get writers from all over the entertainment sphere, hoping they can add something to the show. So it really doesn't have too much to do with Bray Wyatt, apart from the fact that this writer was the person that was very influential when it came to the initial concept and creative of putting together the Firefly Funhouse and the initial creator for the Firefly Funhouse segments back all the way in 2019. Now, SmackDown next week will feature a first-time ever match, Cody Rhodes facing Ludwig Kaiser. It may be hard to cast your minds back to Cody Rhodes' time in WWE as Stardust, but if you wish to watch him in action on SmackDown, you'd have to. Cody's last match on WWE's Blue Brand took place on April 26, 2016, where he was defeated by Apollo Crews prior to him requesting his WWE release. Cody has made appearances on the show since his return last year, but has yet to actually wrestle a match on the brand outside of dark matches following episodes he appeared on. Well, that's all set to change next week, as Cody will be in action in an interesting first-time ever match with a potential major post-WrestleMania implication. On this past week's edition of SmackDown Lowdown, Cody's interview was interrupted by Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser of Imperium, with Ludwig challenging Cody to a match on next week's show, which Rhodes accepted. The timing of the match is rather interesting, with many believing that Cody will end up winning the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania, while believing that Gunther will drop the Intercontinental Championship to Sheamus. Could this be the beginning of seeds being planted for a Cody Rhodes versus Gunther feud coming out of the grandest stage of them all? Some people are speculating, some people are just thinking it's just another match that Cody's having, but some people are saying, look, Cody Rhodes could be feuding with maybe LA Knight. He faced him on Raw on Monday. He could be feuding with Gunther because he's facing Ludwig Kaiser this coming Friday on SmackDown. We'll have to wait and see. It could just be that they just want to have a good match with someone that they trust inside the ring. Now, WWE 2K23, and this does actually include Cody Rhodes, released worldwide this week on March 17, allowing fans to play as the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes for the first time since his WWE return. Cody comes with two entrances, his regular entrance as well as the Cody Vader WrestleMania entrance, which can be assigned to him in Create an Entrance. However, Cody's theme song seems to come with a few errors. For one, players cannot select his theme song to play on the game's menus. Ronda Rousey's theme song also suffers from this problem. However, you cannot also assign the song to any other wrestler in the game, whether created or real, which includes Cody himself, should you assign him a new entrance in the mode. Now, fans have speculated that maybe the issue was to do with the band Downstate, who wrote the song for Rhodes following his WWE release, and 2K not reaching a full agreement for licensing on the song, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Taking to Twitter, seemingly after a lot of questions from wrestling gamers, the band tweeted, quote, "No idea what's going on with hashtag WWE 2K23. We weren't involved. Would love to help out in any way we can at 2K at WWE Games." Now, Downstate also performed the theme songs for The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, both of course were featured in WWE games for the past decade without any issue. Now, obviously, we can hope the issue is fixed soon. I don't know if it's something to do with the publishing. I don't know what that is, but if we get any updates onto what is going on with Cody Rhodes' theme song in WWE 2K23, of course, we'll let you know what the issue certainly is. Now, Kofi Kingston is going to be out of action seemingly for quite some time after an injury has forced him out of WrestleMania, and he shared an update on his injury, sharing a new post following his surgery on the problem. Kingston suffered an ankle injury on the March 3rd edition of SmackDown while performing a dive to the ringside area. The popular star previously confirmed that he was set to undergo surgery on Friday, March 17. Kingston has now taken to social media once more following his surgery, which he has indicated was a success. Sharing a screenshot from a video call with Xavier Woods and Big E, Kingston wrote, quote, "Surgery went well. Of course, I had to FaceTime the boys upon regaining consciousness. Very little recollection of the conversation, LOL. Thanks to everybody who sent me a message. I appreciate it more than you know. I'm home now. Let the road to recovery begin." Now, previous reports had indicated that Kingston would be out of action for around 5 weeks. However, this time frame could be significantly longer following the surgery. Now, another member of the New Day, the Big E, is currently on the shelf. He's been out of action since suffering a broken neck on the March 11, 2022 edition of SmackDown. However, there have been some rumors and speculation he could be set to return at WrestleMania. There was one pitch that the New Day would all reunite at the same time inside the ring. That is up in the air now, of course, due to Kingston's injury. So we'll see what happens when it comes to the New Day and the plans for the Showcase of the Immortals. Now, speaking of WrestleMania, we may have another update as to what the WrestleMania 39 Night 1 main event truly is. A big hint has emerged on plans for the main event of the first night of WrestleMania 39, with several matches being rumored to close the show. As we already know, Cody Rhodes will challenge Roman Reigns for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. That's going to be the final match of WrestleMania 39 Sunday. There are several high-profile bouts that could headline, of course, the first night of action, but Ric Flair, the Nature Boy himself, loose lip sync ships, appears to have confirmed that the SmackDown Women's Championship match will go on last on WrestleMania Saturday. Ric Flair took to Twitter with a photo from SmackDown featuring his daughter Charlotte Flair and her WrestleMania opponent Rhea Ripley. Congratulating the duo, Ric writes, quote, "Congratulations, Queen, Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. You stole it. That's why you're the main event, night 1 at WrestleMania. Woo." It isn't clear whether Ric Flair was reacting to a previous report or if he has learned about WWE's plans directly from Charlotte, Triple H, or someone else within the company. While Dave Meltzer has previously reported that Flair vs. Ripley is set to be the main event match, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select later noted that several people who would typically be in the know and many talent associated have not been informed that the SmackDown Women's Championship match would be headlining night 1 of the event. Fightful had also reported that at one point the Usos vs. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn was also slated to main event WrestleMania 39 Saturday. Dave Meltzer has also confirmed that was the plan at some point. So it could be Flair being Flair, which I believe it probably is, or maybe something has changed over the last couple of days or so. But my feeling is that it's still up in the air, and we'll have to wait and see. Speaking of Sami Zayn, he's reacted to that emotional show closing segment on SmackDown on Friday night. The closing angle to Friday's edition of SmackDown was very emotional. That was a long time coming for all wrestling fans. Ever since he came to fight off the Usos at the end of the Elimination Chamber event, we have all been waiting for the moment when Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn would officially reunite to take down the Bloodline. That moment finally took place on this Friday's show, with Owens saving Sami from a beatdown from the Usos, seemingly setting up their match at WrestleMania 39. Sami took to Twitter on the weekend to share his reaction to the moment, simply sharing a photo of himself and Kevin hugging in the ring. I guess they always say that a picture speaks 1,000 words. Of course, there have reportedly been several people within the company that are pushing for the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to be the main event of the show's first night. That would be Kevin Owens' second consecutive WrestleMania main event. However, there are still some, according to Dave Meltzer, that for political reasons, i.e. having a women's match main event at least one of the nights, are pushing for the Flair versus Ripley main event. As we get closer to the event, I'm sure we'll find out more. But as of right now, things are up in the air about what match will main event WrestleMania Night 1. Finally, there had been this story, hadn't there, this week that Pete Dunne could be returning as a character to WWE television, replacing the name Butch. WWE SmackDown star Butch has teased his return to his popular Pete Dunne character following reports about his future. After successful runs on NXT and NXT UK, Butch aligned himself with Sheamus and Ridge Holland on the March 11, 2022 edition of Friday Night SmackDown and was given his polarizing name. While Butch has gained many aspects of his previous character back in recent months, it had been reported that Triple H will likely bring Pete Dunne back in full before the end of the year. Butch is now taken to Twitter with a black and white photo of himself holding the NXT UK Championship as the Bruiserweight character. Reflecting on his previous gimmick, Butch captioned the photo, quote, "Remember." Now, Butch hasn't wrestled on WWE television since he and Holland were defeated by the Viking Raiders on the February 3rd episode of Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. His most recent in-ring outing saw him lose to Gunther in a dark match at the March 10 SmackDown taping. Now, whether or not we're going to get the former NXT UK champion back in his former character, you would probably think logically that is the case, or it might just be a case of him reacting to those reports that he knows nothing about. So, again, if we get any more details on that, we'll let you know in the future. But there you go, guys. It's the latest WWE news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Big couple of months coming up when it comes to Wrestle News 365. We've got full WrestleMania coverage, Hall of Fame coverage. We've got everything when it comes to watch-alongs, post-shows. Yes, they're all going to be starting back up again in the WrestleMania season. So now is the time. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Click that notification bell. You'll be notified every single time a new video is uploaded or we go live. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Remember, you can join the WN365 roster by clicking that join button. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak for you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.